I've heard rumblings over time that the iPhone has a bit of a bloatware problem. The iPhone? Come on. Unless? But I know Apple users really pride the iPhone for being one of the only smartphones out there without bloatware. So who's right? And what is bloatware exactly? Well, Google's definition is software whose usefulness is reduced because of the excessive disk space and memory it requires. So essentially software you don't want that is more detrimental to your device's resources than the usefulness it's supposed to bring to the user. Think of it as being a leech in your house, with your couch being that precious storage space. And if your couch only has 64 gigabytes, you can see why it could be a real issue. Now, the iPhone has its fair share of pre-installed apps, some that may surprise some of you. But what if their usefulness is overlooked? Well, that's what I want to explore today. I will make the definitive decision myself on whether an app is bloatware or not, so you don't have to. You're welcome. Now, I would not be including basic apps like the calendar or calculator app, etc., because those apps are given on any modern device, right? Right? So we're already off to a bad start. Stocks was one of the apps introduced with the original iPhone back in 2007, back when iOS was just called iPhone OS. It's literally as old as the iPhone. Now, are you really going to throw away such a pivotal moment in the iPhone's history? Yep. Hey man, call me a layman, but the Stocks app is a world I'm personally not involved in, and I think most people can relate. Bloatware. Measure is a measuring app using augmented reality, allowing users to measure objects in 3D space just by using the camera. As someone who is no longer in school and thinks they are too good to own a ruler, I think this app is a necessity. And you know what? It's better than a ruler. It's not confined to the limitations of the real physical world. I can go outside and measure the distance between me and your mom right now. Introduced in iPhone OS 3, Compass is, well, a compass. It's one of those things that I probably never use, but it's just nice to have, you know? Anyone? Well, whatever, I'm keeping it. Magnifier? I can't justify though. If I wanted to see something that close, my instinct would be just to squint or zoom in with my camera app. And anything revolving around the quantum realm is none of my business. Would you believe that iOS only got a file management system back in 2017? Masochists. Before that, people would just navigate through iCloud, which, believe it or not, people still don't really know how to do. Let me know if y'all want an iCloud video in the future though. Anyway, if you think having a file system on your smartphone is bloatware, you must be one of those, oh, my life is on my phone, but it's not backed up or anything, so if it gets lost or broken, I would absolutely be devastated, but even knowing this, I'm literally going to do nothing about it. Sounds like you? Get some help. Your tech-savvy friend or family member is tired enough. Introduced back in iPhone OS 2, the iTunes Store almost single-handedly saved the digital music market from torrent beasts like Napster. And we would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling brats. Streaming is king, so there's no real use for it on my phone. Sorry, buddy. Bloatware. Now, the Home app is definitely one of the more divisive ones on the iPhone. Introduced in iOS 10, the Home app is sort of like your hub for smart home appliances. If you don't have any smart home products though, I can understand why it would be useless to you. Me, however, I have 2 HomePod minis, so I do use the app, still not that often. I mean, I did use it to mark one as a left speaker and one as a right speaker, but yeah, that was about it. There's still no native support on the HomePod minis, and I'm pretty sure that's on purpose because Spotify is feeling a bit petty towards Apple at the moment, but it can stay, I guess. Now, as a guy currently without an Apple Watch, I'm keeping it. Yeah, I know. I'm keeping it there for inspiration for when I eventually do get one. But the health and fitness apps are not really that useful without the watch, in my opinion, so they can go in the bloatware bin. Find My enables users to track all of their products running iOS, iPadOS, and watchOS, as well as your AirPods and, of course, AirTags. Also your friends and family. Can't name how many times this app has helped me out. I once used it to track my AirPods that I just happened to lose in an entirely different state. I mean, I couldn't get it back or anything, but it was nice to see how much of an idiot I was in real time. I don't know about you, but this is a certified staple. First introduced in iOS 5, replacing the iPod app, the music app plays as sort of a hub for all of your locally stored tunes, iTunes purchases, and songs from Apple Music. I don't have anything against the music app, but I'm a Spotify guy, so it has to go anyway, along with its sister app, Podcasts. I just don't see what they bring to the table that I couldn't get from Spotify or YouTube, you know? Bloatware. Since iOS 9, News has been a part of the iPhone's pre-installed roster, replacing the iPhone's previous Newsstand app. Bloatware. Look, I get my news from attempting to read articles that notice that I have an ad blocker, so then I go out my way to disable my ad blocker and then refresh the page only to get hit with a prompt to pay a subscription to read the rest of the article, and I'm like, damn, am I really gonna spend $5 just to know if the jelly that I had for way too long is still good enough to spread on my peanut butter sandwich that I randomly crave for twice a year? And then I go, nah, it's not that serious. So then I exit the browser tab feeling defeated and proceed to eat a dry ass peanut butter sandwich. Like the rest of us. Since iOS 13, this app has been haunting me. Shortcuts are like a visual scripting app. You can make your phone do lots of cool things that I lack the knowledge and patience to do, but one day, is what I would have said if I didn't just use it to retrieve some of the assets for this very video. Get app icon.
App name.
Find My.
Which one?
The first
Find
one. It's pretty sick. I'm keeping it. Competition? Hard pass. Why use an app like this when you can just watch your favorite tuber in the entire world? Right? I can see why people would consider this bloatware, but as someone who's seen the light of Apple Pay, I am not one of them. It also has more cool options, including keeping track of your tickets, getting an Apple Card, and Apple Pay Later. Certified staple. The TV app holds a library for the movies and TV shows you've purchased from the iTunes Store, as well as Apple TV Plus, which is their streaming service. Pretty cool, I guess, but not quite for me. There's no way I'm gonna watch a movie on my phone. What am I, crazy? Bloatware. Last but not least, introduced just last year is freeform, the brainstorming app where you get to write, draw, and use different media to convey ideas to your heart's content. I've used it from time to time and it's pretty cool because it has one of those limitless boards, so you never really run out of space. I recommend it if you're more of a visual learner like me. However, I consider it more useful on an iPad than on your phone, where you can just use notes. So, bloatware. Okay, so there are actually a lot more apps that come pre-installed with your iPhone than I thought. I covered like 15 apps without counting the ones that I dismissed, and the new one coming soon with iOS 17 intended for journaling. Now, the usefulness of an app varies from user to user. So one app that one person finds annoying, another user wouldn't be able to live without. It's all subjective. And being that most people aren't going to be using every app mentioned above, I think we all have to come with the terms with the fact that yes, the iPhone indeed has bloatware. But I think Apple's intent behind it is a lot different compared to other devices from other companies. All of these apps are in-house and not due to some deal Apple made with a third-party company to inconvenience the user just to make some extra money. I think Apple truly believes that these apps can provide actual value to your life, regardless of how actually right they might be. And whether it does or not ultimately depends on you. Chances are, there are going to be some that you're not going to use at all, like I mentioned in this video. And if it's bothering you that much, just delete it, like you would any other app on your phone. For the most part. I think Apple has learned its lesson about putting something on your phone that you don't want. Isn't that right, Bono? Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more of me, you know what to do. Surprisingly, some people asked. So if you want to support this channel, I have a buy me a coffee link below and a join button if you want to support me that way with extra perks. I am a one-man team, so any help could help me upload more frequently. Thank you.